millions of disabled Americans in this country. Every single day, I get to listen to various politicians and others call me and others like me lazy parasites living a life of indulgent luxury off of the taxes and hard work of our fellow citizens. So I decided to make this video to educate others about what at least my life of luxury is like. First, I am on SSDI, which is not welfare. SSDI stands for Social Security Disability Insurance. It is a federal insurance program that all of us pay into our entire working life. And like all insurance, most of us hope to never need. Not everyone can qualify for it. You first need to have paid into it for a long enough period, in my case for more than 20 years. Then you have to go through an incredibly long and adversarial review process that can literally take years. Then, if you are approved, you are paid a monthly amount based on the length of time that you paid into the system. The amount is hardly luxurious. I get just over $1,000 a month. Not enough for trips to Vegas, or steak every night, or a Cadillac in my driveway. One of the biggest issues that I deal with daily is that I do not look disabled. The average person looking at me can't tell that there is anything wrong with me. I suffer from 2 chronic pain conditions, and I'm going to explain each of them to you in plain language and the effects that I have to live with. The first is psoriatic arthritis. The word arthritis is thrown around a lot. You see commercials on TV about it all the time. And most people are familiar with 1 or 2 different varieties of it. The most common form is simply caused by wear and tear on your joints. The more you abuse your joints, the faster and more advanced it can be. If you engage in extreme exercise or extreme sports, you are most likely going to be affected by this sooner or later. So I guess you could make an argument that you do this to yourself. But most other forms of arthritis happen regardless of anything that you do or don't do. Psoriatic arthritis is a genetic disease. Nothing I did or didn't do caused it. The only visible sign of it is the skin condition you can see on me. The scaly skin buildup, red-colored patches on my face, scalp, ears, other places on my body. What you can't see is the pain that I live with every day, all day. 24/7, 365 days a year. Like standard arthritis, I deal with joint pain. But psoriatic arthritis also affects tendons and ligaments. I will often feel like I have tendinitis in 1 or more joints. During a flare-up, I can have 1 or more joint nearly completely locked. Long time ago, a friend that I lived with for several years used to say that I looked like the mummy from the old black and white horror films. My arm bent and locked, had a foot dragging behind me as I limped through the house. A few years ago, I was also diagnosed with fibromyalgia. I know that there is a lot of debate over whether this is a real condition or not, but I can tell you how it affected me. The worst pain was in my thighs. I want you to imagine the worst pulled muscle you have ever experienced. Now imagine that the pain from that pulled muscle never heals or gets any better. That was what my thighs felt like every day, all day. Now fortunately for me, the medication that my doctor prescribed for it relieved most of that particular pain. Not all of it, but most of it. My average daily pain on a scale of 1 to 10 is a 3. Constant daily background pain. And while that is my overall body pain, individual places can be significantly higher. And that is while I am taking all the medications that I am supposed to be on. Take enough pain medication that I am not in any pain at all would leave me in a completely drugged up haze. I spend most of my day managing my pain. I can't sit for too long or I stiffen up. I can't stand or walk for too long or my joints will swell. I can't lay down for too long and so on. Mornings, as you might imagine, are the worst time of the day for me, since I have been laying down for several hours, and all my meds have worn off overnight. On some mornings, it can take up to 20 minutes just for me to be able to move my joints enough to allow me to get out of bed. Now, I am capable of about 5 to 6 hours of physical activity in a day, just not 5 to 6 hours continuously. I can go do something for about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, and then with a significant break of about an hour to an hour and a half, I can go do some more. They can even be fairly strenuous physical activities. But in no case can I manage 8 hours straight in a day or 40 hours straight in a week. The biggest problem that I deal with is how unstable this condition is. Today I can be relatively fine, at least as fine as I am on any particular day, as I just described. Then tomorrow morning, it might be all that I can do to get out of bed and take care of myself. And that is all the warning that I will get. And it won't matter what activity level I had the day before. I could have rested, taken it easy, done much of nothing, or I could have gone out, done something with my family, gone on an activity, went to the park, doesn't matter. Whatever I did is irrelevant. The next day, I may not be able to get out of bed. That was the reason that I lost my last regular job. I missed too many days. And I couldn't guarantee to that employer or to any other employer that I could make it into work each day. Treatment for this condition mainly consists of medication and physical therapy. I am able to get my medications through Medicare, but I am not able to undergo all of the other physical treatments that my doctors and I would like. To see the specialists and participate in the physical therapy, it would cost me nearly half of my disability income in co-payments. That's not an option. My doctors would like me to get more exercise. They say it's supposed to be able to help reduce the pain in arthritic conditions. But that in itself is a bit problematic. Aside from the normal difficulties in trying to exercise with 2 chronic pain conditions, I also have to deal with the perception of others who feel that if I am capable of that level of physical activity, how can I possibly be disabled and unable to work? So myself and others, like me, live in constant apprehension that somebody is going to see us out doing what our doctors want us to do, being out there engaged in a physical exercise that the doctor says we should be, and they're going to turn around and accuse us of fraud. I didn't ask for this. Not a bit. I don't want it. And if science came up with a cure for either one of my conditions, or stabilized it enough that I could get back to work, I would in a heartbeat, as a vast majority of those of us who suffer from these kind of conditions would. I hope that this video has helped you to understand some of what folks like me have to go through every day. Thank you for your time.